Ferrytoll Park and Ride with a noisy Elite E11 YX64WCZ on the X59 to Edinburgh. Actually no, I think that one's going to St Andrews. So it's going to Edinburgh, we're going for that stance over there. Stance 1 is for services heading to Dunfermline and Kirkcaldy, etc. northbound. Got B8 coming in here. What one's this? YX8 LHL X55 to Dunfermline. We'll see quite a few of these in the time that we're down here. I'm hoping that we're going to get a BZL in the 747 up to Holbeath when we go up there shortly. That's 54501. We'll probably see quite a few of these, as I said. We can go into the waiting room as well. It's a bit cooler today, not as mild as it has been. At least it's not as wet, you know. It's getting dark, so quite a lot of the spotting will probably be in the dark. But then again, it doesn't matter, because look, we've got good lighting here. The same up at Holbeath, and it'll be the same at Inverarmond. I wouldn't do live streams in the dark in places that didn't have good lighting. Most places have good lighting anyway when it comes to like park and ride spots and bus stations. Now that's the flexi bus. Well, I'll show you that in a minute, because that, I believe, is 170407. What is it? I can't remember. I don't know. I'll need to replay this live stream back and have another look at that. I don't think that is 407. Anyway, that BT15KLF over there, that's the flexibus service that Moffat and Williamson operate, and that's the Mercedes Sprinter. When I got off an earlier B8, which was YX18 LHT, I saw that sitting here and I thought, whoa, what? I thought, since when did Moffat Williamson have Sprinters? I know they've got Melostratas, but I didn't think they had any Sprinters. But obviously this is a new thing that they've taken on. And as I said in one of my pre-recorded videos, which is not yet on the channel, there's a new thing starting through in Clackmannanshire. Now I can't remember exactly who's operating it, don't quote me on this, but I think it could be Hunter's Coaches, possibly. But there's a new service starting on trial, and it's funded by Clackmannanshire Council, where you pay so much, I think it's about £2, to pick you up at your front door possibly. I need to look into it a little bit more, and take you to Falkirk Hospital. Now I don't mean the hospital at Albert, I mean in the community hospital in Falkirk itself. Now that would be handy if you're going for an appointment, or you could possibly even use it as a way of getting into Falkirk to do other things, you know. I'm not saying that I would use it, but if I was in a rush to get to Falkirk, it could come in handy. Now, I'm not planning on being down here too long, maybe about half an hour, so the stream will probably be about half an hour, maybe 40 minutes long. Hopefully we can get the chance to do another stream on a BZL going up to Holbeath, and then we'll do another one after that at Holbeath itself. The plan up at Holbeath is I will be streaming for possibly an hour. It might even be a little longer than that, because Holbeath tends to do quite well on this channel. And having said that, this place has its moments as well. Sometimes it doesn't do that well, other times it does do pretty well as well. It does do fairly well, you know. I think it just depends. But yeah, well, there's one that I saw on Saturday. Remember the live stream I did on Saturday in Edinburgh bus station? YX18 LLC, the one that I thought had been transferred from Dunfermline. I remember saying that. That has definitely not ever been a Dunfermline vehicle. Definitely not. I don't know what I was thinking on Saturday. I think my brain was somewhere the sun don't shine. Yes. So, you've also got this little screen here that tells you what's coming up, which is actually quite handy, because it saves me from looking up on my phone. It means I can't look it up on my phone when I'm live streaming anyway. So we've got a 747 to the airport, 8 minutes, Holbeath one in 10 minutes, another one 23 minutes, so I'll come back to that in just a sec, because the LLC is just about to pull away, and I can give you its fleet number, which is 54517. Hello to Amatuxton. How you doing, mate? Hope you're doing okay. I just seem to call everybody mate or bro or dude. It's just force of habit. Hope you're doing well. That's 54517 on the X56. It says I live in Brentwood. That's Essex, I think, isn't it? Yeah, well, this is Ferrytoll Park and Ride, just south of Dunfermline. Well, when I say just south of Dunfermline, north of Edinburgh, sort of halfway between the two. That's the Forth Road Bridge over there in the background. I don't plan to go into Edinburgh today. It's a Mercedes Sprinter operated by local operator Moffat and Williamson over there. Well, when I say local operator, they're based just outside Dundee, which is quite a bit from here. It's about 40 odd miles away. But they've got a depot. Where is the depot around here? Loch Gelly, I think it is, which is maybe about 10-15 miles away. So they've got a few depots around Fife. I don't actually live in Fife myself, but I'm originally from Fife. He says, yes, I'm good. You too, yes. I'm going to sub to your channel. Okay, thank you very much. That's much appreciated. And he says, where are you at? I'm at a place called Ferrytoll Park and Ride, just south of Dunfermline. Or just north of Edinburgh, you could say. But it's nearer Dunfermline than Edinburgh. You can also see that that's actually an active railway line there. Well, anyone who's local knows that. But, so we'll probably see a bit of trains as well. I'm not going to be on for too long here, because I plan to travel to another park and ride site, a Holbeath Park and Ride, which is maybe about 3-4 miles away. But well, it'll be about that. It's about 10-15 minutes by bus. Any bus service from Stance 1, I think it is. Virtually any service from there will take you there. Anything that says X59, X56, X61. I was going to say CityLink, but CityLink don't stop here. But we'll see CityLink and Flixbus on the Holbeath Park and Ride live stream, which I'll be doing in a little while. It will be dark by that time, but the place is well lit, so I don't mind it. He says, Avant, wait, I'm going to put my leftover Nutella sandwich. Okay, nothing wrong with Nutella. Quite like it myself, actually. I don't really eat chocolate sandwiches, to be honest. I don't really eat a lot of chocolate. I don't mind the odd bar of chocolate, but I've really got to be in the mood for it. I used to like I once tried, what was it called? Oh, that's a coach getting recovered there. That's not a good sign. No, I didn't try that. But I once tried dairy milk trifle, and I have never tasted anything so sweet. Chocolate sauce at the bottom, chocolate sponge, and chocolate squirty cream. I have never tried anything so sweet. I've got a sweet tooth, but that was just a bit too sweet for me. He says I'm 9 and I'm a boy. Okay, nice. Welcome aboard. Everyone's welcome here. That's what I say. Now, I'm thinking about the 747 service to Holbeath, which there's one in 7 minutes. It won't be that one. Maybe get the one in 20 minutes. Or when's the next one after that? It might be 35 minutes because it's, I think the 747 is every 15 minutes. Roughly. Excuse me. But mostly coming in here you'll see Stagecoach. In fact, it's virtually all Stagecoach in here. Holbeath Park and Ride is, I was going to say more or less the same, but there's more variety up there. There's CityLink, Flixbus. There used to be National Express. There was National Express. No, there wasn't. I don't think National Express ever called at Holbeath Park and Ride. The next bus should be coming in very shortly, hopefully. That was the Class 170 train just passing over there. You don't really see the trains too well here. Might do some train spotting after Christmas, we'll see. Or after New Year maybe, I don't know. I don't have any plans to do that at the moment. Excuse me. I've got a bit of indigestion because I had a Subway spicy Italian before I did this live and it's not settling in my stomach. So, we don't have anything in here at the moment apart from that little Sprinter over there. That's why I tend to warble on a bit about some things. I don't really tend to do lorry spotting, but there's quite a few trucks passing over there. That's the M90 motorway, which runs between Perth and Edinburgh. We'll be using that for heading up to Perth once I've been to Holbeath. I'll be live streaming at Holbeath Park and Ride. This is the departure board here. I was going to say virtually any of these services here would do for Holbeath, but they don't. X59 calls at Holbeath, X56 does as well. So does X61 and 747. Anything else, it doesn't. So, what's the next one that's due in? 4 minutes for the next vehicle's due in here. Better be something before that. Bound to be. He says, where are you going? Oh, well, I'm just doing a bit of live streaming. That's what I do on this channel. We do bus spotting, train spotting, very, very occasionally plane spotting, but I don't really do that too much. I also do full-length bus routes within Scotland, and the north of England at the moment. I can usually do them as far as Newcastle or Carlisle, but the channel's always expanding. Next year I'm hoping to take on a few routes in Manchester. Maybe. Oh, we've got movement. We've got a vehicle coming in. Woohoo! That is the X55 to Edinburgh. I can only make that out on the side because I've been told I've got good eyesight and I still wear glasses. YX18 LHP that is, and what is that fleet number? Can't quite make that out from here. I think that's fine. Because the driver's got his window open, I can't quite make that out. It's 54505. I should know that because 54506 is the vehicle that's on the dashboard of this channel. YX18 LHR. That's LHP sitting there. Oh, and we've got the Volvo BZL coming in. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, to get one of these on the way up to Holbeath Park and Ride, because I love them and I haven't done a live stream on board one yet. Have I been in Paddington before? No, I haven't. I've only been to London a couple of times. I'll tell you a bit more about that in a moment. That's 76147. The reg number is SF25YLA. So they're only a few months old, these ones. Yeah, as I was saying, I've only been to London a few times. It was the M11 service from Glasgow, as we see a 170 passing over on the railway. And when we reached Manchester, there was a woman got on and she had a screaming baby the whole way to London. And I couldn't do the full length route video that I was trying to do. So I wasn't bothered, but I felt sorry for the poor baby, because the woman was more interested in applying her makeup and looking at herself, thinking how beautiful she looked. I felt sorry for the poor kid, I really did. But yes, I had a sore head, let's say, by the time they got off in North London. I know there's a stop before the coach station, and I can't remember what it's called. I know the coach station's called Victoria, but I can't remember what the stop before it's called. Another 170? I thought that was coupled to a 158, but it's not. And that was my trip to London. I stayed overnight in a hotel, which was... I was going to take a cab from the coach station, but the hotel was literally from here to where that tree is over there. That's how close it was. I didn't realise how close it was. So of course it would have been pointless taking a cab. Not that I use taxis that much, because I don't. We've got another BZL coming in. Coming back up, I came back by train the following day, because I didn't sleep much in the coach. What am I talking about? That's 76145. I didn't sleep much in the hotel that night. And so I decided to just get the train back up the road, back up to Scotland. And I can't remember what train station I got it from. That's SF75VZM. I think it could have been Paddington. Possibly, because I remember getting a cab from Victoria coach station to Paddington train station. Or it might have been Euston, actually. I think it possibly could have been Euston. Because I turned up at the wrong train station for the train back to Edinburgh. And of course, one of my mates thought it was absolutely hilarious that I went to the wrong train station. Yes, I got the mickey ripped out of me for weeks after that. Yep, we've actually got a Paddington... Have we got a Paddington train station in Scotland? No, we haven't. There's Waverley and Haymarket, which is Edinburgh. And Glasgow's got Queen Street and Central. So we haven't got a Paddington. I'm trying to think if the other train stations that I've been to have got names they haven't. Not that I know of. Now, festival travel. Can't quite make that out, that reg number from here, and it's not coming in, which is a shame. Damn, that would have been nice getting that on film. Ah well. There's always next time. Now the next one due in, well, it's that 747 that we had to the airport. X59 due to St Andrews in 2 minutes. X58 also due to St Andrews in 2 minutes. That's not a duplicate bus, by the way. They go separate ways. X58 goes up through Inverkeithing, which is literally about a mile, well, less than that, about half a mile from here. And it goes up through Inverkeithing, Dalgety Bay, Kirkcaldy, Leven, and then I think it goes up through Anstruther into St Andrews that way. It takes forever. It's a long journey. Whereas the X59, which is a lot faster, goes up that way, joins the M90 motorway, and then it merges onto the A92 into Holbeath Park and Ride, then back onto the A92, straight up to Glenrothes, and then into St Andrews that way. It's much quicker. It's probably about a good hour quicker, I would say. But I haven't done any of these routes for the channel yet, but I do plan to do them at some point. I've done the X57, which says destination Holbeath. That does terminate there. That's another one I can get, actually, that I forgot about. I did that route for the channel a few weeks ago, and to be honest, it wasn't anything special. I didn't think it was anything special. X59, I could get that one actually, that could be my bus, but it's not. 54358 YX67 UPC is that one. I promised I would do a live stream here. We've been streaming now, what, 21 minutes? Do another 10-15 minutes or so, and then I'll go and catch a bus up to Holbeath. I live just outside Stirling, which is about, what, maybe 25-30 miles from here. So it's a bit of a journey home, but hey, I don't mind it. That's why I called the channel the Alba Gallivanter, because I love gallivanting. Doesn't bother me. Oh, what got in there? What's the bins? Yeah, that's rubbish. That's pretty rubbish. Just like my jokes. What else have we got coming in? Nothing at the moment. Right, the next one to Holbeath will be that X57 in 3 minutes. 747 in 8 minutes. I think I'll go for that one. And hopefully we get a BZL. That's just the Christmas and New Year services for Stagecoach. As we see another, well, that's a 43. 2, 3, 4, 5 carriages. 5 carriage 43. Chances are that will be going to either Inverness or Aberdeen. I'm hoping to get a trip to Aberdeen on the channel with some spotting before we go to, well, before Christmas time, because I won't be doing any uploads on Christmas Day, obviously. I might do a little short live, like maybe a 5-minute live, just to say Happy Christmas, and I plan to do the same at the Bells on New Year's Day, if I'm still, well, I'll still be up if I'm sober enough. I don't really drink much. Now, this I think is X58 coming in. I don't know what everyone thinks, but I think these Elites actually suit that new livery. That's YX64WDC. I think they look nice in that livery. He says, let me drink my plum and orange crush drink and I will pour water in my plant. That sounds like a good idea. That's maybe what I should do. Just have a watered down lager. 54508 there on the X55, and still the old yellow colour, or as I call it, the banana bus. It's sounding a bit throaty, that one. YX18 LHU. Yeah, it's sounding a bit throaty, that one. Not as bad as the Elite that was sounding very throaty on my Edinburgh stream on Saturday night. That was pretty noisy, and a lot of the buses were saying bus full because a lot of people were travelling to the Christmas market in Edinburgh. I was thinking about going to that for a little look around as well, but it's quite expensive even just to get in. You can't just go in and wander around, you've got to pay to get in. I know some people say that us Scots are quite tight-fisted. I would disagree with that. I don't think I'm tight-fisted, but it does look quite expensive, to be honest. X61 to Edinburgh just coming in. If a vehicle says Edinburgh, it's no use to me for going to Holbeath. YY65SXR, that's the B9. You can tell it's a B9 because it's a single axle. Single axles are B9s, double axles are B11s. And they're longer as well in length. Someone once said to me, what do you prefer, a B9 or a B11? I don't know, to be honest. I don't mind. I just think that Volvo Elites are beautiful looking coaches. They're my favourite. I love them. Scania M230s are probably, I was going to say my second favourite bus, but I think when it comes to coaches, my second favourite would be, what's it called, the Scania Eraza i6. Now you won't see many of them round this way. They're sort of more over the west, Glasgow. But I'll be live streaming in Glasgow tomorrow. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll see a few. Now we've got YX18LKP coming in and a Dennis Enviro 400 MMC operating X55. Some people say that's rare. I beg your pardon, it's not X55, it's X51. It's not rare, if I'm being honest. I've seen those on that route all the time. And that one is SN16OZL, which is an ex-Arbroath vehicle. YX18LHO there, 54504. X57 to Dallock Park. I could get that one to Holbeath Park and Ride, but that one goes round a few housing schemes. That's what I said, that one is the one I did recently for the channel, and I didn't think it was anything special, you know, in terms of the route. I enjoyed it, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't anything special. Now, what's this one coming in? It's another B8. Sorry if this is getting a bit boring in terms of seeing all these B8s, but that's what you get down here. That's YX18LLA. That one is the one I was getting confused with on Saturday, because that one is a recent transfer from Dunfermline. It started off as a Perth-based vehicle, in Veraman Depot to be exact, 54516 is the fleet number, and it got transferred to Dunfermline, and now it's went back to Inveramond Depot, which is Perth, basically. We've got another Elite coming in. That's X59 YX57 UPF. Oh, that's 54361, I think. It is starting to get dark here, as you can see, so these lights should be coming on any second. Yep, 54361. And we've got a B8 up. Oh, we've got a traffic jam. Well, I wouldn't have called it a traffic jam, a bus jam. Jamming it on the buses. YX18LKU there, and fleet number for that one is, now the lights have come on, I can see a bit better. In fact, I probably won't actually see that one because, yeah, I will. 54512. Now, welcome if you're just joining the stream. I was going to say, don't ask me about that Mercedes Sprinter sitting over there, because that's been there since I arrived, but it belongs to Moffat and Williamson. It's a kind of it said Flexi Ride on the front, but the driver since turned it off. And I suspect that's one of those services that picks you up. You know, it goes to places, picks people up that are in housing schemes that are not well served by normal bus routes. It goes to rural places, basically. I think that's what that does. And it takes you to like hospital appointments, etc. Well, that's my 747 just coming in, the Volvo BZL. So I'm going to cut the stream just now, guys, and I'll bring you back when I get to Holbeath, okay? Right, we'll speak soon.